welcome to the Monumental Mindset Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Q. Here we focus on tapping into our fullest potential to become our best possible selves. Each and every Monumental Monday, we will drop an episode that will consist of a word of the week, as well as a metaphor or phrase to incorporate throughout your week and just make sure that you have a wonderful day. I hope you are enjoying what you are hearing. And if you do, please comment, like, and subscribe to Dr. Q the Coach on all social media platforms. This Monumental Monday, our word of the day is consistent. Now, this is going to be good. Consistent simply means acting or doing something the same way over time, unchanging in nature or standard. Now, I know that we all have many goals that we set for ourselves, things that it is that we want to do or we want to accomplish. But how can you do that without being consistent? Consistency is really the key to your success. So, I'm going to give you some examples and some tips to practice being consistent in your daily lives. So, first thing is this, we're going to talk about consistency, and I'll use myself as an example when it comes to weight loss. When I first had my daughter, I had gained a good bit of weight on me. I was looking real fluffy. I was still cute, but I was fluffy. And I wasn't happy with the size that I had gotten. So I knew I needed to do something different. So, of course, we try all the fad diets. Lose 10 pounds in a week, lose 10 pounds in 5 days, lose 30 pounds in a month, which, if you don't know, I'm going to be one to tell you that usually that weight does not stay off. So you have to be consistent with your journey in order for you to really see results and to maintain your results. So me being the person that I am, I wanted to try that lose 10 pounds in 5 days, lose 10 pounds in a week, that nasty lemon and cayenne pepper tea and all this stuff that they tell you to take, some apple cider vinegar and all this stuff. I didn't try anything you could think of. Your girl tried it. Okay. And trying all of that stuff would get maybe some results here and there, but the results would not maintain. Why? Because I did not do those things consistently. When I realized that I was not going to play about my weight loss journey anymore, and I was not going to play about my goals and where I wanted to be, I had to really sit down and think to myself, like, girl, what are you doing? Get your life together. So I signed up with one of my amazing, the consistency coach, Coach L. She is the consistency coach. And when I sat down with her, talked to her about it, she was like, okay, listen, this is what we're going to do. I signed up for this 100-day program. And I said, okay, I'm going to stick it out. We're going to do it. Then my husband said he's going to do it with me. And we are going to stick it out and be consistent. We're going to show up every day. We're going to follow our meal plan. We didn't restrict what we were eating, but we followed our meal plan to make sure that we maintained a lifestyle. In doing so, we worked out when we didn't feel like it. We ate good when we wanted to eat something that was not as healthy, but we found alternatives and different things to help us be successful on our journey, which is why we were able to lose weight and keep it off. It's all about being consistent and showing up for yourself. So that's just an example about being consistent when it came to my own personal life with weight loss. There are many tips out there in the world that will help you with your consistency, because you have to realize this. Consistency will get you your results. If you are not consistent, you will not see results. You can't show up today and say, I'm going to work out today. I'm going to eat like crap all week, but then I'm going to work out again on Saturday and I'm going to think that I'm going to get results. Trust me, you won't. You can't outwork the fork. That was one thing that we was always told. You cannot outwork your fork. So whatever you're putting in your body, you can't outwork that. You can burn calories, but you cannot outwork what it is that you're putting in your body. So you have to be careful and you have to be consistent. You have to show up. Working out, and I know I'm going on this rant about working out because this was me. I'm talking to my past self. So if you are in the position that I am, and it's not just about working out, this can be about any goal that you have set for yourself. If you do not show up and be consistent with yourself, you will not see the results. And the person that you're hurting is yourself, because you will not be happy if you don't get to the goal that you have set for yourself. So let's show up for ourselves like we show up for other people so that we can be consistent as well as get the results that we want in life. Can we do that in 2023? In 2023, can we show up for ourselves? That is our goal, to become better each and every day. And how do we do that? We be consistent. So the first tip that I have for you when it comes to being consistent is making it a part of your regular routine. If you know that getting up in the morning, it's better for you, like for me, it's better for me to work out earlier in the day, because if I work out earlier in the day, it sets the tone for my day. Now I know that I'm not going to eat like crap because I didn't did this workout. But if I try to wait till the evening, that's going to be me trying to outwork my fork. So I know for me personally, it's better for me to do things earlier in the day so that it sets the tone for my day. If it comes to you, if it's better for you to do things in the evening, to meditate, to do your affirmations, whatever it is for you that helps you, make it a part of your daily routine. For budgeting, if it's better for you to look at your budget in the morning, on Monday, so that you can plan out your week, then cool, do that. Don't try to wait till Sunday night after you didn't spent money all weekend and you wondering what happened, why your budget blew up. Your budget blew up because you didn't make it a part of your routine to look at it at the best time that worked for you. That was the next tip. The next tip is find the best time of the day that works for you. Find the best day of the week that works for you. If you have something that you have to do on the weekly basis, what's the best time of the week to do that? So for me personally, to do my podcast and to record the episodes, it's best for me to do that usually Friday mornings when the kids are at school and nobody's in the house or able to bother me or come in here and knock on the door or anything like that. It's better for me to do that when no one's here, so that I can have it already prepared, and then I can spend the weekend doing my edits, and then I can have it ready to be posted on Monday mornings. Now, the next tip is give yourself grace. Everything may not always work out how you planned, and that's okay. Give yourself grace and understand that, listen, we are all human. We can plan all day what it is that we want to do, and things can still happen that are out of our hands. Everything is not going to work out as you planned. But what are we going to do? We're going to give ourselves grace. Okay, it didn't work out as I planned, but I do know what I'm going to do differently next time, which is the next tip. Learn from what went wrong and learn from your mistakes. Just because you made a mistake do not mean that it's the end of the world. Like, I can do this podcast and sometimes I find myself talking really fast where I'll stumble over some words, and then I have to think to myself, girl, you talk fast. Give yourself grace. Slow down, pause, start again, correct whatever words you said wrong, and keep it moving. If I did something and I realized when I first started doing the podcast, I would record it on one thing, it looked a little blurry to me. So now I have to find out a different way. Whatever went wrong, realize that things are not going to go as planned. But if you have a mistake or if something go wrong, you learn from it so that you can do better the next time. Consistency is continuing to show up despite what went wrong, despite what mistakes were made, making those changes and showing up again and continuing to do that. That's how you get to the goals that you want. That's how you get to the results that you want. That's how you get to the life that you want. And that's what we are doing in 2023. 2023, we are unleashing our greatness. And how do you do that? You show up. And you don't just show up every now and then, you show up consistently. That's what we do. The next tip that I have for you is show up even when you don't feel like it. You can be dead tired, had a long day, had a long weekend, and I did. I had a very long weekend. I drove to Atlanta Thursday morning after a long night with my cousins who came in town to visit. Got up bright and early in the morning, drove to Atlanta, 3.5 hours, went straight to a conference, Business Mastery Blueprint Conference, which was absolutely amazing. Networked Thursday night, functioning off of about 3 hours of sleep, dead tired, but I still showed up. I wasn't going to miss my conference. I wasn't not going to show up for what I said I was going to do. I could have said, I'm going to just sleep in. No. Show up even when you're tired. When you're tired and you don't feel like it, that's the best time to show up. That's when you prove to yourself, like, I am going to do everything that I said I'm going to do. I am going to be consistent. I'm going to show up for me. This is about me. This ain't about nobody else. Show up when you don't feel like it. I don't feel like working out. Who wakes up like, whoo, yes, I just feel like working out. If you do, congratulations. I love you. You probably one of the most fit persons in the world. But it's been plenty times where I wake up like, you know what? I just don't feel like it. I'm tired. I don't feel like working out. I'm tired. I don't feel like going to work. But you go to work anyway. You can show up for that check, but you can't show up for yourself and for your future self. Show up for you, just like you show up for others, just like you show up for your job. Show up for yourself. That's what we are doing. That is what consistency is all about. It's been plenty times you can go to work tired, sick, sleepy, exhausted, but you can't show up for yourself and your goals with those same circumstances. Show up when you don't feel like it. That's when you realize that your goals and your future self and what you are working towards is bigger than your current situation and bigger than your excuses. Because most of the time, you're not consistent because you have excuses to justify why. Okay, see, I'm not even going to go into excuses because that's going to be a word of the week. Y'all know I love going into excuses and breaking those down. But we're going to get into that for another word of the week. But today, don't be using those excuses to as a reason to justify why you're not consistently showing up for yourself. Okay? Excuses are not going to help you be successful. Excuses will cause you to miss out on your results. Excuses will stop you from being consistent in what it is that you want to do for yourself. But we're not doing that. My next tip, and I think this will be my last tip, and then we'll transition. My next tip is prioritize and plan ahead. Prioritize your task and plan ahead so that you're prepared for it. And that way you're able to wean and plan according to anything that can come up, any things that may go wrong, or it'll allow you to not even come up with an excuse because you already planned ahead. But when you plan, you still have to stick to the plans that you've made. Make sure that you follow through with the plans that you've made. Don't make plans and then push them off, because that's going to interfere with you being consistent and showing up for yourself. Our next thing I'm going to do is just go over those tips one more time for you so that you are aware of what it is that you need to do to show up and be consistent in your life. Our first tip was make it part of your regular schedule. Schedule it. Make sure that you're doing it at the best time that works for you. That was number 2, the best time of the day or the best day of the week that works for you. Number 3 was making sure that you learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistakes and learn from what went wrong. Also, give yourself grace along the way, understanding that everything will not go as you plan. But you're going to learn from those. You're going to keep moving forward. We're not beating ourselves up about a mistake. We use those as learning opportunities. Also, show up for yourself even when you don't feel like it, because that's when you show how dedicated you are to yourself and to your goals and to your dreams. And lastly, prioritize and plan ahead. That way you are ready when the time comes. You are showing up for yourself and you can weed out all of the different things and issues that can take place along the way. We will now transition into part 2, which is our metaphor/phrase for this week. Our monumental metaphor or phrase for this week, of course, will go hand in hand with our word of the week, consistent. Our metaphor this week, well, phrase or quote, is going to be consistent action creates consistent results. And this is exactly what I just explained in part 1. When you show up for yourself and when you show up on your job or when you show up for your goals and you continue to do it over and over and over again, giving yourself grace, planning accordingly, learning from your mistakes, and continuously showing up for yourself, you will get the results that you are looking for. You will achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. Another example. You want to start a business. We got a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of people that really want to start a business and write their own checks and build their own bank accounts, because every one of us have a gift. Each of us have a special gift that we can offer the world and you can monetize on. So, if you have a business that you have burning in you that you want to do and you want to pursue, but you don't consistently show up, making those calls, making those sales, advertising, reaching out to people, putting yourself out there. If you don't consistently show up in your business, is your business going to succeed? If you make plans and you don't follow through with them, is your business going to be successful? It's hard to be successful in your own business when you don't show up for yourself and you don't show up and be consistent about your efforts. And that's the same thing with anything you do in life. You consistently show up for your 9 to 5. You consistently show up when you have to work every other weekend. You consistently show up when somebody have a special, they $2 tacos and $2 margaritas. You consistently show up for that. You consistently show up when them new Jordans coming out and you got to wait in line or try to stay up all night to order them. You can consistently show up for that stuff. But can you consistently show up for what you have set for yourself? Can you consistently show up for your future self so your future self will thank you for what it is that you're doing today? You have to be consistent and you have to show up for yourself. Just like you show up for somebody else's vision or dream, which is your 9 to 5 or check or whatever it is that you work. You consistently show up for somebody else's dream. But can you show up for your own dream? Can you show up for your own goals? Can you show up for your future self? That's what 2023 is all about. Consistent action creates consistent results. We are going to be consistent in our efforts to achieve our wildest and craziest goals and dreams. We are going to consistently tap into our fullest potential so that we can be our best possible selves. And that's it. If you are enjoying what you are hearing, please follow, subscribe, and like at Dr. Q the Coach on all social media platforms. We are showing up consistently in 2023. This word jumped at me and I was like, what am I going to talk about? And consistent just showed up because we have to put in that consistent effort. We all have these things that we want to do with our lives, and just keeping it a buck with you, being 100% honest and transparent, we have to hold ourselves accountable and we have to consistently show up for ourselves so that we can get the results that we want. I can't wait to celebrate everybody and their results when you show up consistently for you. So always remember that the sky is not the limit because there is more out there beyond the clouds, and I will see you next week. Peace.